I want to invite Kim Werner to slide on over here and join us. She is the program manager at the Divorce Mediation Group at the National Conflict Resolution Center here in San Diego,
Hello.
Downtown. Thank you. You're the first point of contact down there.
I am. Generally speaking, the cases that we get at Divorce Mediation Group, I am their first point of contact. I spend a lot of time on the phone with folks who call in, and I spend a lot of time answering their questions about procedure and getting them ready for their first session. The question I get all the time is, what do we need to bring to our first session? What do we need to bring? What do we have to have done? And technically speaking, they don't have to have anything done, but what I do suggest is that if they have already reached some agreements, jot them down on a yellow pad. They don't need to produce a spreadsheet. They don't need to write anything in fancy legal language. Simply write down any agreements they've reached. And oftentimes people will say, well, we don't have any agreements. That's why we're coming to you. And I'll say, well, let's try this. Have you decided who's keeping which car? Well, yeah. Have you decided what you're doing with your bank accounts? Well, yeah, we know the ones we're keeping, the ones we're closing. So write it down. So you've already started reaching some of your agreements. You already have a leg up on the process. You already have valuable information to give that mediator when you walk in. Here's what we've decided we're doing with our automobiles. Here's how we're going to divide the bank accounts. And we even have a pretty good idea of what we're doing with our credit card accounts. So my job is to manage cases, to see the cases through to the end. And one of the ways I do that is I ask people, what are your agreements? Write them down. Something else that you might want to think about, if you are working with outside professionals such as someone like Karen or someone like Ryan, a realtor, a CPA, a CDFA, an appraiser, anybody, if that information is necessary for the session itself, then do your homework, do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing outside the mediation process, meet with that person, get their report they're going to generate, some kind of an analysis, bring that with you to your next session. That's only going to make your sessions more efficient, and in the end, you will require fewer mediation hours if you can be business-minded and efficient at the session itself. And I also acknowledge in the same breath that it's extremely difficult. It's right there. Divorce is one of the most difficult things anyone will ever experience. There's pain, there's fear, there's resentment, there's anger, there's revenge. I mean, you name it, it's all there. So it's doubly difficult to put that stuff aside and come in and sit at a table, this far from the person you're divorcing, and have civil conversations about your assets and your debts and your children and all of that. So we acknowledge that it's difficult. But my catchphrase for people when they come in, I say, when you come into that mediation room, check your ego at the door and come in and have a business-like conversation, because what you are doing is dissolving a partnership. It's a marital partnership, but a partnership just the same. You have things you're going to divide up, things you're going to move around the board, pieces that are going to be moved around, making decisions about your family and your kids. Do it in a civil manner, get through it so you can move on with your lives. That's really what my job is to get them through this so they can move on as healthy a way as possible.
You, NCRC, the Divorce Mediation Group, offer seminars, correct?
Yes. Well, we have a monthly workshop that we call Divorce 101, and it really is a crash course in divorce. It's a 4-hour workshop. We offer one Saturday morning a month, and we have one of our mediators is there. We have a consulting attorney there. We have a CDFA, and sometimes we have a therapist if I can get one in. And it really is a crash course in divorce procedure and the benefits of mediation. I also offer free consultations at our office with me, where I meet with the parties anywhere from half an hour to an hour, and we discuss procedure. I show them what all the forms look like. I let them touch them and feel them and look at them and read some of the language on these forms to sort of demystify the process, because they're about to enter into a new world of language, of forms, of acronyms, things they've never dealt with before. And I think it's helpful for someone to be able to look at this stack of papers and I say, this is what's going to be filed first. This is what it looks like. And it just sort of takes some of the fear out of it, so they can acquire more knowledge and be able to get through the process, again, more efficiently, and get them through this so they can move on with their lives. You don't want to be stuck in this for years, and some people are stuck in their divorces for years. In a litigated divorce, some people, years it takes them to do this. You're just stuck in it and you're never making any progress. Let's get through it. Be happy, healthier lives for you and your family. That's my goal.
We're talking with Kim.